Welcome custom card fans, my name is Aurora and I'm here to bring you the Battleground report of Battlegrounds 24. We'll be taking a look at the top players in this casual competition, what they played and how they fared in the lead up to the finals. But first, we must address the fallen competitors. 28 players entered Battlegrounds 24 and the 24 who did not emerge in Top Cut were playing EXU Battleground, 4 Animathos variants, Alternaut, Entropy Beast, Recycle Beast and Invoked Dogmatica, Karkarak, Sweeper, EXU Naturia, Abartek, Shark, Were Warrior, Metaphys Sword Soul, Cyber Dragon, Spaceships, Ether Realm, Super Mega Libromancer, Nightmare White, Nurse Burn, Despia Agent, Bakadan, EXU Fruitamal, Cheese Beast, Ice Bear, and Fire Soul. Before we get into the top 4, however, we must recognise those who only just lost out on the top cut. In 8th was Batabara, playing Shark. This decklist revolves around the incredibly powerful Stealth Kragan, using its destruction effect and ability to float into the Kragan spawn to maintain advantage, while Floodgates lock the opponent out of the game. In 7th was Ray, on EXU Battleground. I'll skip over this one for now, trust me, we'll get to it later. A notable point is that it did play Rhino Heart at home, Supreme Sea Mare, which I thought was very funny. Eureka was in 6th, playing Bakadan, a strong pyro deck with a pennant for destruction that we discussed at length in the last report. I shall instead take these precious seconds to ruminate on the philosophies of Jigen Bakudan. Finally, in 5th was Neo Blackstar, playing EXU Naturia. Despite a bevy of nerfs to Naturia, MBS's list emerged as capable and competent this Battlegrounds, showing off why Vernisylph was a very bad idea to release at the same time as giving Naturia two of the most broken Earth monsters ever printed. The finisher in 4th place was Fizzy Izzy and Heroic Meowly, playing Magispector. A well-performing deck over the past few months, Magispector has recently gained access to Majesty Pegasus, the Dracoslayer, giving it easy access to Secret Village. What? That card's banned? Oh, okay, let's try, Necro Valley. And Meowly hit the nail on the head with what kinds of decks were going to be represented. Round 1 was a victory against Spaceships, then again over Metaphys Sword Soul in round 2, following it with yet another victory against Fire Soul. Round 4 was another victory over EXU Naturia, and round 5 was another victory after that, leading Meowly to go 5-0 leading into the top cut. Once there, however, he lost 2 consecutive matches, leaving him in 4th place with by far the most fair deck represented in Top Cut. The 3rd place finisher was myself, playing Recycle Beast. This deck is all about bouncing cards from the field and adding them from the graveyard to the hand, leading into fusion plays on both players' turns. The deck effectively sets up monster negates and destruction effects, but also routinely draws cards, making it advantage positive and able to play generic back row. Round 1 was won over Nightmare White, and round 2 against EXU Fruitamal. Round 3 was the fateful mirror match against Recycle Beast, but with Animathos, which I won handily due to some, bricking on their part. Round 4 was a very salty loss, though round 5 was a victory over Bakadan to push me into Top Cut. I lost the first game in Top Cut, but won quickly against Magispector to take 3rd place. I only have one thing to say: reduce, reuse, recycle. Save the planet. Since I am too lazy to split these two troublemakers apart, I'm doing them together. In 1st and 2nd places respectively were a Pretzeled Snake and the Awkward One, both playing EXU Battleground. Their lists were varied mostly in their choices of disruption. Pretz chose to play CCTV Evangelist, Effect Veiler, Forbidden Chalice, and Infinite Impermanence, whereas Orc chose Veiler, Herald of Orange Light, Called by the Grave, and more copies of the Tearlament's Traps. Other than that, they were pretty much exactly the same. Round 1, Orc beat Pretz in the mirror, followed by victories over Sweepers in Pretz's case, or another mirror against the EXU Battleground for Orc in round 2. Round 3 were victories over Karkarak and Bakadan, and the round 4 victories were against Recycle Beast and Recycle Beast Animathos. They even played against similar decks, huh? Round 5 was a victory for Pretz to reach Top Cut, beating out Sharks, whereas it was a loss against Magispector for Orc. In Top Cut, Pretz beat Recycle Beast, whereas Orc won the rematch against Magispector. In the same fashion, however, Pretz won her rematch against Orc. So strap in everyone, it's time to watch an EXU Battleground mirror match for the top spot. We are here, it's the end of the world. Oh, how the world has fallen into disrepair. How utterly and completely ragged and depraved must we be that this is where we have resulted. A Tyralement mirror. Oh, why am I here? Why am I here? Alright, it looks like Pretz is going first. Let's see how this goes, eh? So we're going to start off and see the activation of a Tyralement Scream and normal summon of a Merly. We're going to go Chainlink 1 tier, Chainlink 1 Scream, Chainlink 2 Merly, and Chainlink 3 Harvness. Oh, what a fun deck. We're going to see 3 mills here, a Merly, a Callbite, and a Pale Rhino, which does nothing in the graveyard, luckily. And here we're going to see mills of Infimp, Terra, and Medora. So that Medora is going to really put away that, what got milled? Merly? Yeah. Literally every name! Three names. Okay, so we're gonna trigger Harvness, Rhino Heart, Chaining 3 Merly in Orc's Grave, and Pretz is going to allow that Merly to go through instead, saving the Medora for later. We're going to see a fusion summon of the Aurora, Wings of Resonant Life, a special summon of the Rhino Heart, and a pitch of the Suliak from hand, which is, yeah, that's what this needs to do. And then a shuffle back of 2 of our Shiren and our Harvness in the graveyard in order to fusion summon a Tyrallament's Shireloss. Shireloss is going to trigger Chainlink 1, and Chainlink 2 is going to be a Tyrallament's Rhino Heart. We're going to, and Chainlink 3, the Suliak. We're going to be searching, I think, with Suliak. Yep. Suliak as a Tyrallament's monster. That'll be the Harvness then, I assume. And the Shireloss is going to be adding the Suliak, and then a mill of the Tyrallament's Merly. Tyrallament's Merly's effect is going to activate, shuffling itself into the deck and banishing this Rhino Heart from the field, and shuffling into the deck the what was it we normal summoned? Is it the other Merly? The other Merly. To summon a Tyrallament's Kaleido Heart. Kaleido Heart's effect is going to shuffle back that Aurora. Then we're going to set 2 cards, and we are going to pass this turn with Harvness in hand. Oh my goodness. So we have Harvness, Suliak, Imperm, Kaleido. Yeah, Kaleido triggers off of Harvness. Orc's is going to draw, and it's going to be a Tyralement Scream. That's a pretty good card. We're going to activate Scream. And then we're going to probably trigger Grief, right? Normal summon Harvness. That is a little bit stinky. Both of these Screams are going to trigger here. Both milling 3. And there's a Kelbeck. And no hits again for Orcs, apart from the Scream. What does Scream do? Adds a trap from deck to hand. Fun. We're going to trigger in the graveyard the Harvness and the Scream. And that's, we're just going to admit defeat. What unlucky mills from Orcs. Honestly, those were horrible. So we're going to be going into game 2 here, and we're going to be seeing Orcs going first. And it's going to be a hand of pretty much everything you could ever want, and Pretz has no interruption for this first turn. We're going to start off by activating Pale Rhino and use its effect, I think, in order to add from deck to hand the Tyrallament's Rhino Heart. Of course it is. It's always Rhino. We're going to activate Scream and then activate Rhino Heart. We're going to activate Rhino Heart Chainlink 1, Scream Chainlink 2, and then the Rhino Heart is going to get stopped by Effect Veiler, which I'm assuming is being played over Ash for specifically Rhino Heart. Scream is going to mill the Suliak, Grief, and what else is in there? Oh, Interruption. We're going to trigger the Suliak and use its effect to add from the deck to the hand a Tyrallament's monster, which is going to be Tyrallament's Harvness. We're then going to normal summon, effect of Tyrallament's Shiren in order to special summon it by sending the Harvness from the hand to the graveyard and then milling the top 3 cards of the deck, of which there was nothing there apart from the Keldo. We're then going to trigger the effect in the graveyard most likely. Ooh, are we going to be triggering the effect? We are not going to be triggering Harvness here. Instead, we're just going to overlay this Rhino Heart and this Shiren in order to summon a Time Thief Redoer, set 2, and pass the turn. Unfortunately, we do not control a Tyrallament's monster, so both Metanoise and Crime are currently offline, but if you know Time Thief Redoer, that can change. In standby phase, Redoer's effect is going to trigger, which is going to be Pretzel Snake denied permission. I didn't know that was a button you could. I didn't know that was a button you could click. Oh my goodness, and it's a crime. So now we have disruption on this Redoer as well. Oh, either a spell or a trap would have been crazy there, and we got a trap. This Shiren is going to trigger. We're going to send from the hand to the graveyard the Keldo, the Sacred Protector, and mill from the top of the deck. Nothing, apart from a Suliek, which is pretty good. Suliek's effect is going to trigger in the graveyard. What does Suliek do? It's the one that adds a monster. I don't play these cards. Suliek is going to search for a Tearlament's Hardness, and then we are going to trigger the effect in the graveyard of the Keldo, the Sacred Protector, targeting in the graveyard of both Keldos and the Hardness from the graveyard of Orcs. This means that Keldo is then going to be chain triggered, targeting CCTV Evangelist, Vela, and the Terraforming, removing every light from Pretzel's graveyard, which is of course the aim here. Goodbye! This means we will no longer have much fusion material unless we can get lucky with another activation. We're going to see an activation of Scream here, and then we're going to use the effect, chain the effect of Time Thief Redoer, which will get chained to the effect of Tearlament's Hardness. Hardness will special summon itself from the hand, mill the top 3 cards of the deck, Pale Rhino, Keldo, and evenly matched. We're going to detach both the Crime and the Shiren in order to target the Scream. Shuffle it into the deck and banish the Redoer until the end phase. And then the second effect would have been the Scream, but of course since Scream is a continuous spell, it does need to be on the field in order to trigger. Unfortunately, I don't think we have... well, you can technically. Does Pretz have more interruption for it? Well, Pretz has already used Keldo, so she can't block a Shiren summon here. Interesting. Interesting, Orcs is choosing to not fusion summon. I feel like it's very possible here. I don't know why it wouldn't be, and I don't know why you wouldn't want to, but alright. Next is going to be a link summon between the Shiren and this Hardness for the Dark that... No, did you detach Rhino Heart? Is that why you can't do it? There's no way you detach Rhino Heart. If you detach Rhino Heart, you deserve to not get that fusion summon. No, you detach Shiren. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to, but alright. The Dark Charmer's effect is going to trigger here, special summoning, I presume. Huh? You're not summoning... This doesn't negate effects, right? No. You're not. But, you know, I'm going to let you play. We're going to normal summon the Merle, and we're going to use the Merle's effect, milling the top 3. Oh, that's a Agido. We're going to trigger the effect in... You really do want to. We might not trigger the Agido here, just because, obviously, it would trigger a lot of Orcs effects as well. Scream is instead going to trigger in order to add a Tearlament's trap from the deck to the hand. And that trap is going to be Suliek. We are indeed playing Suliek control. At the end of the main phase, we are going to go into the battle phase and swing direct for the Merle, for the Dark Charmer, and for the Shiren. Bringing Orc down to 3550. Playing around Gourds in the year of our Lord 2022. We're going to link off the Dark Charmer, Gloomy, and the Merle in order to summon a embodiment of Last Caress, which is essentially Trap Hole on a Link 3. Setting in the back row the Suliek, and in the end phase, the Time Thief Redoer will come back. We're going to draw off the top, and it's going to be a Mudora, the Sword Oracle. We're going to attach from the top of the deck, and it is in fact a Hardness, which is a very bad detach. Because we do not want Pretz to get that effect. Okay then, let's take a... Oh, can you guys stop talking? Battle phase, and it's going to be a Redoer swing into the Shiren, most likely, so that we can get this Suliek offline. And then Suliek will trigger, sending the Shiren to the graveyard in order to negate the Redoer. I don't know why you do that, because that then triggers Shiren. She forgot, that's why. Shiren effects! Mudora will now trigger here in order to shuffle back that Shiren. Probably, are there 3 tier names engraved? We're probably shuffling back both these tier names, and I don't even know what. Probably one of these tier names, definitely. my Suliek. We're shuffling back the Suliek. Interesting. Shiren and Rhino from Orc's Graveyard go shuffled back into the deck, and the Suliek. And then we're going to trigger the effect of the Pale Rhino. Since a Tearlaments monster was shuffled into the deck, you can target a card on the field and destroy it. Get rid of that Embodiment of Last Caress and swing in direct with the Redoer for 2400. Redoer control! Normal summon Mudora, Sword Oracle, and pass. We're going to draw, and it's going to be the Tearlament Scream. We're going to activate Scream and normal summon Merly. That's pretty much very strong. Merly and Scream are both going to get triggered here, and we're going to see 3 mills. Heartbeat, Harvness. Heartbeat returns traps, and we do have the Crime in the graveyard to add back, which is pretty fun. And then the next 3 are going to be Pale Rhino, Rhino, and Imperm. Unfortunately, some pretty big whiffs there apart from the Harvness. We're going to go Harvness, then we're going to go Heartbeat. We are not going to go Rhino Heart since we cannot. The legal one, yet there's only Crime. We're then going to trigger Mudora, the Sword Oracle from the field, banishing it in order to shuffle back what I presume is going to be the Crime. The, does it have to use itself? I don't think it does, right? It does have to include this card, so we are going to be shuffling back Harvness, Crime, Rhino? Harvness, Crime, and I feel like Rhino's the best one, right? My Grief. Orc's going to shuffle back Grief. You get your own Grief back. Honestly, same. Back goes Harvness and back goes Crime, which means there will be no Fusion Summon here. Redoer is already negated, and Suliek is a once per turn, which means we can't use it currently. We're going to go over to Orc's turn, and we're going to see an orange light. Redoer effect! Sorry, I get really excited about Redoer. Normal summon! Orange light! Link 2! Dark! Special summon back Merly. Merly effect! We're popping off! Merly Scream. We're going to see a mill of Merly. We're going to see a mill of Harvness. And we're going to see Scream. And we're going to see Shiren. Literally every single freaking name! Every name! We're going to go Merly. We're going to go Scream. We're going to go Shiren. It's about power. It's about drive. It's about... We devour. I don't know what all those lyrics are, but I really wish I... Yeah, it's about drive, it's about power, we stay hungry, we devour. Aurora! Add back Suliek, and we will go Merly, Orange Light, Redoer for the ideal Chaotic Technique Dragon Caller, which is a very strong card and will cause Pretz to concede the game as the evident loss incoming to her. Goodness gracious, just milled every tier name twice. Oh, game 3, and we are seeing Interruption, Merly, Terraforming, Suliek. Interruption, Harvness, or Interruption, Crime, Heartbeat, and Terraforming. Each player is open Terraforming. I'm gonna pass out. We are going to search the Primeval Planet Pale Rhino, and we're going to activate Pale Rhino and use its effect to search for the Rhino Heart, most likely. Shiren. I've always said that Shiren's one of the strongest Tearlament names, and now we are seeing it in action. We're going to go Shiren effect, pitching Keldo. Yeah, we're pitching Keldo, and we're going to see a mill of the Scream. Not a particularly powerful mill, but we are going to be able to use it in order to search for Crime here, I imagine. Yeah, we're going to grab Crime. I'm learning tier! Look at me, I'm learning tier. Next, we're going to see a normal summon of Merly, and we're going to get chained to that is the effect of Tearlament Harvness, milling from the top of the deck the Mudora, the Scream, and the Shiren. And that's almost everything you need. We're going to then see from Pretz a mill of Harvness, which is also incredibly strong. CCTV. This is a light. Of course it's a light. We wouldn't be playing it otherwise. That's pretty much everything we need. We're going to trigger the Harvness in the graveyard, and then Orcs is going to trigger both the effects of the Scream and the Heart and the Shiren. This Shiren is going to get shuffled back. Oh, Keldo! That's going to target Shiren, Mudora, Pale Rhino. Shiren, Mudora, Pale Rhino, forcing out the Mudora and using it to shuffle back Harvness, Keldo, and Scream. We're just going to fast forward everything getting shuffled back into the deck because I can't be bothered to click through it manually. That's close enough. And then we're going to see an activation of Pale Rhino since the Suliak was added to the hand, popping our own Merly and then using that Merly in order to fusion summon. Now that all of our opponent's interruption is gone, we're going to fuse it with our 2 CCTV Evangelists in order to summon Chaotic Ideal Dragon Caller. Except no, because Chaotic Ideal Dragon Caller requires different names. Get out of here! We're instead going to shuffle away our 2 Telements in order to summon a Shylos and use Shylos' effect in order to search for a Telement spell or trap. Considering the fact we have Telement, Suliak, and Crime in hand, we are... Oh, no, it can also send from the deck to the graveyard, which is why we're going to be sending from the deck to the graveyard here the Telements Suliak and use its effect to search for the Harvness. We're then going to set 2 and pass the turn. And that's going to leave Orc in a very strong position here. We are going to see and draw standby phase, and going into the main phase, we're going to start off probably with the Terraforming for the Pale Rhino. Both players are now playing with the field spell, therefore the field spell is clearly fair. Stop complaining about it. We're then going to, are we American Sniper? Oh, what do we mean? Ah, we're going to try and Heartbeat for the crime. Heartbeat. Honestly, this is always going to just get crimed. Crime is now going to trigger, pitching the Harvness from the hand, shuffling back the Heartbeat, and then we're going to trigger the Harvness in the graveyard. We are going to shuffle back the Harvness and the CCTV Evangelist and the Shylos in order to summon Chaotic Technique Ideal Dragon Caller. Baby. Harvness was shuffled into the deck, so I do believe we can actually trigger Pale Rhino. Oh no, we can trigger Pale Rhino. We know we can trigger Pale Rhino. We're debating on whether we should because it will get the Harvness into the graveyard. We are going to opt to and instead pop the Suliak and use Suliak in order to search. Are we searching Harvness? Please tell me you're searching Harvness. We're going to use now we're going to use Chaotic Technique Ideal Dragon Caller's effect to banish the top 3 cards of the deck face down. We're going to see what these banishes are, because we are in fact on the side of Orc. Shiren, that's so big. Oh my goodness. That's so big. That's actually so massive. We're going to add to the hand the Harvness here in order to keep some interaction. Keldo, the Sacred Oracle, Sacred Protector is going to trigger here, pitching itself, and Mudora, the Sword Oracle, in order to add from the deck to the hand, probably one of our Agido cards, I'd imagine. Chainlink 2, we're going to go for a Mudora, shuffling from Pretz's graveyard into the deck, probably any Telement names she has. There are not currently any good Telements names in the graveyard. Maybe shuffle back all of the spells. CCTV and Terraforming, and that is everything. We are going to trigger the effect of Ideal here, banishing from the graveyard the CCTV Evangelist in order to pop from the field the Harvness. An interesting choice. Shuffled back goes the Terraforming, and summoned is the Keldo, and added to the hand is the Kelbeck. We're then going to activate Pale Rhino without activating Harvness, interestingly enough, although I'm sure we know by now that this will just get met with an Ideal Chaotic Technique Dragon Caller. We're then going to trigger the Pale Rhino and search from the deck to the hand at the Telement Shiren. And time to get it twisted! Activate Shiren effect. We're going to send from the hand to the graveyard the effect of the Kelbeck, the Ancient Vanguard, and mill from the top evenly Lava Golem. Stellar Mills. We're then going to activate the effect in the graveyard of the Kelbeck. Woo-hoo-hoo! It's time to go down the water slide! We hit 1 Tier Element card. How many is Pret's going to hit? How many are we going to see? 1 Bada Bada, 2 Bada Bada, 3 Bada Bada, 4! 1 Tier Element name in Merly. Are we going to trigger Agido? Do it. Activate Agido. Activate Agido. Agido, Merly. Get it twisted. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Woohoo! And now we're going to go Agido, the Ancient Sentinel effect as Chain Link 2. No effect to Chain Link 3 here from Orc, but we are going to, in fact, activate the Medora, the Sword Oracle, targeting in the opponent's graveyard all of the Agido Keldo cards, which is just Agido Keldo. And then we're going to chain the effect of the Keldo, banishing it from the graveyard and shuffling into the deck. Pelarino, Grief, and Hardness. And that's going to all resolve. Back go those shufflers. Grief, Hardness, and we're going to see 5 more mills. And those are not really what we wanted to see, although we do have another Agido that we can trigger, which likely we will. Merly and another Keldo is pretty okay, and Pretz has not used Keldo yet. We are going to trigger the Agido. We're going to get it more twisted. Tillamont's Scream is also going to trigger and add from the deck to the hand a trap. Chainlink 3, the Primeval Planet will trigger, and we are then going to trigger the effect of Merly in the graveyard in order to fusion summon, and then trigger the effect of Ideal Chaotic Dragon Technique Dragoncaller as Chain Link 5. We're going to banish a spell from the graveyard, being the Terraforming, and banish two monsters from our opponent's graveyard. No! The funny cards! That's such a shame. We're going to shuffle back the Merly and the Ideal Dragoncaller in order to summon a Predaplant Dragostepelia. Sending from the deck to the graveyard a magnificent Mill 5 from Orcs here with the Harvest and the Rhino Heart in full display. We're then going to see Keldo, Effect Veiler, Harvest, Scream, and CCTV Evangelist. Harvest effect is going to trigger in Orc's graveyard, and so is in Pretz's graveyard. And Rhino Heart is also going to trigger. Then in Pretz's graveyard, Harvest is going to trigger, and we're going to see a fusion summon of Harvest alongside we probably just make a second Ideal here, right? Because Ideal's effects are once per turn. I mean, isn't Ideal like once per... Okay, we are going to be shuffling back this Agido and this CCTV Evangelist for the Ideal. Oh no, you can only apply each effect once per turn. I thought each effect was just like once per chain you can use this effect. Whoops. Okay, yeah, no, we're still summoning Ideal though, which is pretty funny. It's a big beta, right? So we're going to summon back this Rhino Heart and send from the hand to the graveyard the Suliak. And we are then going to, I believe, Fusion Summon is next with this Harvest in the graveyard. I don't think we have any fusion targets in the grave. We are going to fusion summon using this Harvest and this Shiren in order to summon a Aurora Wings of Resonant Life. We then go to trigger the effect of the Rhino Heart and then trigger the effect of the Suliak. And Pretz is going to do nothing, I'd imagine. I don't think there's anything Pretz can do in this situation. Kelbeck on a new chain. Ah, yes. As a hypothetical, if Kelbeck were to trigger, it will in fact trigger in a new chain. Not that we have Kelbeck, obviously. We're going to see a search here from Suliak of Tillamont's Merly. Then we're going to mill the Shiren from the deck. Then we're going to go Shiren effect in order to shuffle itself back into the deck. Or does it place it on the bottom? No, it places it on the bottom, yeah. We're going to pop the Shiren on the bottom. And what are we going to summon here? No Shiren. Ooh, interesting. We're instead going to normal summon Merly. Merly effect. And Merly's effect is going to go Mill 3. Chain 2 is effect of Harvest. And chain to that is the effect of Dragostepelia, placing a Predator counter on the Merly and negating its effects for as long as it has one. And that is a hit off the top with Pretzel. And we're going to go Merly effect in the graveyard, I would imagine. I'll just fast forward a little bit. There we go. We're going to see a link of the Garura and the Merly in order to summon a the Dark Charmer Gloomy and trigger the effect of the Garura in the graveyard to draw a card, and it's a Harvest. We are then going to activate the effect of the Dark Charmer, special summoning from the opponent's graveyard the Merly. Yeah. There's 2 Merlys. It could be one of the 2, yeah. We're gonna try to go Mudora, but we have in fact already Mudora this turn. It was us who used Mudora, and then we also used Keldo. We're going to special summon back this Merly, and we have also already used Merly, which means we cannot use this effect after it's been summoned here. What are we going to see here? Going to link with these 3 to summon the Nightmare Unicorn. Use its effect, pitch the crime, and shuffle the ideal chaotic technique Dragon Caller. And overlay the Rhino and the Mudora in order to summon a Baguska, the terribly tired Tapir. We're doing something on Res of Unicorn? We're doing something on Res of Unicorn? What are we doing? Ah, Kellebec. Goodbye. Interesting. Oh, what are we going to see? We're still going to see an overlay of these, but instead this time it's going to be for a Time Thief Redoer. We're then going to go into battle and go Redoer attacking into the Tyralem's Harvness. Maybe it could go into Vanguard. Oh, we've already used this card, I think, already, right? Yeah. Okay, and the top deck is Shiren. Unfortunately, I don't think it does exactly what we wanted to do in this situation. We are going to go for effect of Redoer, and we're going to see a Caldo off the top, which is something we will definitely want to keep underneath this Time Thief Redoer. In other words, it's just something that this Redoer has granted to us. We're then going to go the effect of the Caldo in the graveyard in order to target Mudora, Garura, and Suliak. Then trigger the effect of the Mudora in order to shuffle from the graveyards into the deck the Mudora, Caldo, and the Merly. Okay. Oh my goodness, I'm so bored. Mudora, Caldo, Suliak, Garura, Merly. Yay! Effect of Pelarino. We're gonna go popping the Pelarino, it looks like. I don't know. What are you doing? Just target a card already, for goodness sakes. We're gonna then trigger the effect of Dragus Tapelia, targeting the Time Thief Redoer. We're gonna trigger Time Thief Redoer, detaching a monster material, and banishing itself until the end phase. We're then gonna go Rhino effect. Mudora effect. Goodbye, Rhino. Oh my goodness. Caldo effect! Pelarino, foolish and... Ah! And Pelarino effect. Yeah! Yeah! Tearlamut Mirror! Goodbye, Harvness. Harvness effect! Except there's no Harvness effect. They said there is a Harvness effect. I don't know what's going on anymore. We're gonna fuse a, Oh, wait, are we summoning Ideal for the 3rd time this turn? That's pretty based, actually. Yeah! 3.2k beta! We're going to use the effect of Ideal. Punished by Harvness in the hand! Whiffs on the mills, and we're going to pop that. We're going to pop that field spell, normal summon the Shiren, and go in for a little bit of damage. Ideal's effect is going to trigger banishing a spell from the graveyard in order to banish 2 cards from Orc's graveyard. Oh, can I just fast forward this already? Ideal's effect. Banish a trap. Banish top 3. What were those top 3? It was a Lava Golem and Merly and a Harvness. That's almost all of our tier names just banished now. Flippin' heck. We're going to special summon back that Redoer. Draw for turn, and it's going to be a Pelarino. We're going to attach this Scream from the top of Pretz's deck. I'm just going to fast this forward. We're going to go Ideal effect, go Redoer effect, draw a card. We're then going to go Ideal's effect is going to pop itself. And then use the effect of... oh no, it's going to pop the Shiren and then use the Shiren effect. And then use the Scream effect. And then add the Suliak. And then add the Shiren. Or add the Shiren and the Merly to summon a Shylos. Trigger the Pelarino and the Shylos in order to pop the Redoer and send from the deck to the graveyard the Heartbeat. Then we're going to go Heartbeat, or add to the hand the Heartbeat. Lava Golem on the board, and pass the turn. We're going to take 1,000, then normal summon the Shiren and attack with the Lava Golem, losing 5,300 life points in the process. Then we're going to activate a Pelarino on Orc's end, and that's going to get met with a Tearlamut Suliak. And that is going to be the end of the game. I am free! Oh my goodness, Tearlamut's mirrors are so miserable. Congratulations to the 4 top cut duelists, and congratulations further to everyone who participated. These tournaments aren't possible without you, so it's wonderful to see so many people taking part. If you want to be a part of the next EXU Battleground, make sure you check out the Discord link in the description. As always, be sure to like the video if you enjoyed, tell us what you thought down in the comments, and subscribe if you want to see more custom card content, and click the bell icon if you want to be notified every time we upload. And that's all from me for this Battleground report. Report closed.